All right. Okay, I don't know what to do after that. I think I can die happy. I'm gonna
Dude,
be
I'm at a
real.
loss for words. I mean, like, not only did we get the game 9, but in such spectacular fashion. It's just crazy, man. I just can't find the words to describe it, man. It's just unbelievable.
I am definitely blessed that CSC is able to cast me just so I'm be able to cast that match in general.
Oh my
So
god, yeah.
I'm
These are the
definitely thankful.
moments. These are the moments you love.
We're gonna move on from that now. We're gonna go into losers finals. Loser will take third place for this match, and the winner will go back, or not go back, but will go into grands. Either will go or go back in the grands, considering who wins to face JRH.
That's right, yeah. Like you said, loser of this match is the third place finisher. And then after that, the winner will have to win 2 out of 3, since we now are back in the lower bracket. If you guys are keeping track on your brackets there, we're now back in the lower bracket. And one of these players will be facing JRH in the finals. It's crazy to think about, man. We're going to be seeing the loss of one of these great players here, Moose and Rob. One of these, it's been such a long journey, but one of these players is finally going to have their journey come to an end here.
That's right. Dude, those boss songs played in such a big favor for JRH, I must say. Taking 2 of them.
Did. Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's going to happen again in the finals. You know, I'd have to imagine whoever wins this one is definitely going to use their ban on a boss song. I'd have to imagine.
We'll see, though, because JRH is not present for this match. So this is going to go... Like, this is going to be the same deal between Skulljoke and Rob. Or, no, Skulljoke versus Fingerquick. Or Rob versus Fingerquick. I can't focus. But it'll be in favor of the boss songs. It won't be as in favor, say, if JRH were present in the match. So perhaps we're going to see a little bit of back and forth between the boss songs. See which ones get banned. See which one's going to be in favor of who. I mean, Moose looked pretty strong for both of them. He didn't look too bad with War and Deluge, especially Deluge. And we've only seen Rob perform on War so far.
Yeah, I mean, just to think about just to think about what these players have had to go through. Forget the qualifying for the playoffs, but what these players have all gone through in the playoffs is outstanding. We've seen JRH now has secured himself a spot in the finals. He has run his way completely through the playoffs, beaten everybody he's played against. He's secured himself a spot in the finals. Rob lost his first match and was immediately sent to the lower bracket, but has run his way through the lower bracket and is now in the lower bracket finals, and now has another chance to get up to the top. Moose ran all the way through the top bracket, but lost the semifinal, and now is playing against a guy who's run through that lower bracket.
That's right, and I want to say one thing. Rob immediately bans Deluge. Maybe he's not particularly in favor of that. Maybe he wants to rather play War instead when it comes to boss songs. And Moose with the ban on Chiasm. Smart pick. I respect it. Knowing Rob has that ish down, so we have really strategic bans so far.
Yeah, completely understandable. I'd have to imagine everybody was pretty much expecting a ban of one of the boss songs here. Especially after we saw how brutal they can be.
That's right. And again, like you said before, Rob losing in the first round and just going all the way back into losers finals. Really pretty admirable stuff. And our first song being picked right now is going to be Track on Fire between these two.
From Moose. We just saw Moose come in with an unbelievable FC of Track on Fire. The highest score of the whole tournament Moose just got on this song. So are we going to be seeing that same sort of magic here from Moose? I don't know.
One thing to say, though, he had played a long, straining, endurance-based set against JRH, where he had pulled off a miraculous win on Track on Fire. It probably takes a toll on him, mentally, I must imagine, but for him to go immediately back into it says something. he'll play this launch song again. The first game even against Rob in losers finals. I guess just to prove a point.
Yeah, no, I can't tell. I can't tell if these players are tied right now or not. No, they definitely are not. Moose somehow, I saw this both times, pulled out a couple of extra points with a later beginning activation. I'm not sure where the other players are getting the activation earlier from, but Moose every time that I've seen has come in with a later activation and scraped a couple hundred points away immediately. I don't know if it's a squeeze or what, but
here they send a trip. Oh no!
Uh-oh. A big miss from Moose there. It was under star power, and it actually looked like he missed quite a few notes as well. It's going to be about a 10,000 point deficit for Moose now, pretty early in this song.
Wow, so we have losers finals Moose missing on the first set of ascending triplets against Rob. I mean, comparatively, where he got near optimal against JRH. I mean, perhaps there's some tolling taking effect here. He did play that long set, like I said. We'll see, though. We still have a good bit to go on Track on Fire.
Yeah, Track on Fire, a real long one. Oftentimes we see players coming in with a score of over 1 million on this one. And, you know, that should tell you alone this is nothing to be messing around with. And, you know, the game can go to anybody. As you can see, we're only 360,000 points into it, so.
And I'm looking right here. I think both have the same amount of star power. Rob's still in the FC. Same activation. Now, I mean, maybe Moose. I mean, he came back from that launch set. Rob, on the other hand, had to
Moose with another miss, and that is going to extend that deficit.
That's right, another miss on Moose, and it's probably showing the endurance on his end. But Rob had to sit pretty for a little bit in losers finals, just watching on the carnage, the carnage between Moose and JRH.
Yeah, guys, because we just saw Moose play 9 songs, and he's immediately hopped into this match, and could potentially be playing 9 more, as you know, as we see that matches can go that way, and you have to commend the stamina from Moose here.
We have our second Shum cycle here, both FCing, but Rob's still maintaining the full FC. I think what we see another FC of Track on Fire. We already had 1 double FC. And I'm looking right here for the score. Around 10.5 to 11K.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think it's around there. Maybe even, could be 12. Either way, you know, Moose is really hoping for a big miss on Rob's part here. Hoping for the meteor, as they say.
That's right.
You know, Rob just not letting up, as it seems right now.
Perhaps the consistency on Rob's end is probably going to give him the edge in this and probably the whole match. The man FC 3 songs in a row against Fingerquick. He'll probably FC this, and we might see more FCs during this set, and maybe if he wins against JRH. I mean, he's on fire today. This is the right day for him to be just playing at his best.
Yeah.
And coming up pretty soon, we're going to have our last strummy bit. That might spell something out for this game. We're going to have an activation pretty soon. There it is.
Yep, there it is. And now we're getting closer to the end of the song. And Rob just absolutely not letting up. He got that early lead and has not given it up.
Here we go. Powering through that, Rob is doing. I wonder how many FCs on Track on Fire this man has. He's still maintaining it with the lead of it looks like. Looking right here, 11 to 12K, just widening it just a little bit after the before the last activation. RJA It's the last activation.
Yep, I think he's going to be taking it here. And in style with an FC, he does take this song. Moose missed right at the end, but it doesn't matter anyway. Rob did take that win there with a great score as well.
That's right, 5K of optimal for Rob. Maybe like 4.7, I think, if to be specific, but nonetheless, an FC and very close off optimal as he'll take game 1, and it'll be his counterpick since that was Moose's.
Yeah, exactly. And Moose, like you said, did pick that one, and Rob came in with the win. And Rob seems to just have Track on Fire down like a robot. I mean, Rob, like, you know, Rob's just an absolute robot on Track on Fire.
Robot in general.
He is. He really is.
We've seen what he can do. He can just play just about anything except Deluge. But he decided to ban that, so it's just out of the question. So we'll see what he has in store. I'm thinking we could see pretty much anything. We're definitely gonna see. We're gonna definitely see Freedom Dive. Even if it's a sweep, we're gonna see it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see Freedom Dive, no doubt. I would say anyway.
I think War might come to play between these two. I don't know who's gonna pick it though. And it'll be Rob.
You know what? Right. If I had $1 for every time that happened.
We're gonna see War for the second song. All right.
Right as you say it there. Rob does pick War, and that's gonna be the second pick of the match here.
And one thing I want to point out, Moose did not do the worst on War against JRH. He actually had maintained a pretty gnarly score until my internet just went to shit, and then JRH had miraculously pulled out the victory. But now we're gonna see War against Rob. Get your PP overheats out. This song goes crazy. I wonder, say if there was anyone else other than Rob, JRH, or Moose, how badly this would affect any other player's stamina wise.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a real stamina heavy song, and it's like, sometimes you get the stamina songs that are they're stamina just because they go on so long, but this one is stamina hard because you have to be, for a lot of these players, strumming at your top speed for this song. And you can rake it, but it, with like you see that chord at the end there, you can't rake that.
Yeah,
of course, the standard strums on this.
You have to end on a down or up strum. But one thing I want to mention, Rob had the same activation as before against Finger Quick, where he had hold on to full star power and waited to activate in the middle of a verse. But it doesn't do much for him, considering that he's down by just about 1K.
Yeah, he's down by about 1,000.
He's 800 up, I'm pretty sure, because of a squeeze. Oh, not with that, though.
Ooh,
Moose.
And never mind, he just does give away the lead there.
I mean, this solo goes crazy. It is a bit strummy song, but this solo is pretty tough. Oh, what was that?
What was that?
At least it wasn't under a phrase. Oh,
I thought it was on a phrase. So Moose he misses a long sustain there, but what a couple of odd misses from the both of them. Actually keeping the score pretty thin margin though.
In Rob's favor though, the song is just about to end though. 4K, yeah, nearly directly from Moose, by the way.
Yeah, he's gonna need a big miss on Rob's part here for Moose to pull this one out.
It has to be in an activation. It could be not during an activation, but if he wants to guarantee, it has to be during here.
Yeah, but Rob really just not letting up. Rob the robot.
Wow, okay.
He will take it. Rob will take it, and he will make this match 2-0 right now. 2-0.
Keep in mind, that was his counter pick. Moose did pitch Track on Fire for the first game, in which Rob took that. -1 again for Rob. I think before his match against Finger, it was a -1, wasn't it?
Yeah, I do believe that it was as well. And, something to note, is that I think Moose was at the same point in the match against JRH where they had played 2 songs and JRH was up 2-0, but then Moose brought it right back. He brought it back with a song. JRH won another one, and then Moose won. He really came back after that, and I'm wondering if we're going to see the same thing.
Man, oh man. Now keep in mind, we did just see Moose versus JRH, but the things are looking right now. Are we going to see Rob versus JRH? Are we going to see a Rob versus JRH Grand Finals? Are we going to see a showdown?
I don't know, man. That would be...
I mean, Moose and JRH was already a showdown in winners, but given there's going to be grands, we're going to have God Jammit as per Moose.
Yep, Moose goes ahead and picks God Jammit 110. All right.
The second time this has been picked. The first time was the first game of winners finals in which Moose took it with a double FC, I'm pretty sure, where he just walked away with, just a couple, I think it was 500 points. A 500 point
difference. It was something like that, yeah.
So he's probably gonna. This is like a familiarity pick here. But Rob is a robot. We'll see if if Rob walks away with an FC of this, considering the plethora of FCs he's gotten so far today.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, like you said, Rob has really just been so on it today. When he takes a lead in a match, he hardly ever gives it up. That's what we've seen so far. Where, like you said, he FC'd 3 songs in a row in his first match today. And already in this match, FC Track on Fire.
I can't tell whether or not they're tied or Moose is ahead by 200 points.
I believe Moose is ahead.
Oh.
I think he is ahead by a few hundred points, yes.
I think it's 400 that Moose is working with right now. Now, I want to take a look at something here. Both with the same activation, by the way. I want to take out Rob's history with this. Rob has history with the song with only losing it once.
Wow.
And keep in mind, the one time he lost with God Jammit was against Moose in his first round.
Well, check that out. Could we be seeing the same thing here? Possibly.
Yeah, with the way things are keeping up. Moose is maintaining a lead. But only for so long. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, if both players just maintain the pace they're at right now, Moose would scrape this win very slightly away.
Both with also, again, the same, so many picture-perfect activations from these two. You'd expect to see, later activation on Moose's end so he can probably squeeze as many notes as he can, but I don't see that happening so far. Now, did you see that brief pause, the difference between the scores?
Yes, it was very small. I think it's under 1,000.
Keep in mind, this was Moose's counter pick, as this is per game 3. If Rob were to take this, he'll be up 3-0, and you need 2 more to win. But the way things are looking right now, Moose might be on the board.
Yeah, I think Rob actually down now over 1,000 points. I think Moose somehow scraped even some more points through maybe a squeeze. And yeah, is Moose gonna get himself on the board here?
We have just about 225k left to go for the song. because we have this chord bait right here that they're surely going to activate in. This part could be tricky, especially given how far they are so far and how close it is. But they're both holding it down so far.
Rob misses here, late into the song, and Moose is going to take a much larger lead.
Now, I don't know whether or not a regular miss on Moose's end could spell... Oh, not with that. That should secure it.
That was pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think
that's going to do it. The song is not over, but I think that's just going to do it.
Yep, that should... This should be 2-1 over to Moose.
Yeah, I think... Yeah.
We got word from broadcast, supposedly from the ref, that Rob had paused during that last bit.
Oh, no. Rob paused. And look, he just scrolled down. You could see it. Oh, my God.
He's like, wait, where was that again?
Like, oh, no. Let me take a look at it. So Moose actually puts himself on the board there. And now the game is 2-1. It's completely different. You know, like... Rob takes that game, and he's in such a strong position of 3-0. But now Moose takes that one 2-1, completely different position that this game is now in.
Keep in mind, he's probably activating with the select button, which, if you're on Explorer, they are two tiny buttons next to each other.
Yeah, he can they're very small.
Very easily hit the start button, and it just messes everything up for him.
Yeah, I do have an Explorer around here, but... All right, Rob comes ahead and picks Freedom Dive for his next pick. Now we know Rob is pretty strong on Freedom Dive. I think we saw Rob win on Freedom Dive earlier, I believe.
Yes, he has 2 wins on Freedom Dive. Yes, 2 wins on Freedom Dive. And Moose with not having won Freedom Dive once.
Ooh.
But I'm pretty sure he did play JRH in winners, in which he did get that Freedom Dive victory. So he does have 1 on the board. But given his past history, it's not looking strong, considering that he did win that match with the simple overlap on JRH's end. So we'll see what happens.
Here we go, guys. Here. Freedom Dive. We all love to see it. I want to see those emotes in the chat, everybody. Come on now. Everybody likes Freedom Dive.
So, by the way, we had mentioned before in the winners finals, there has been not a single FC of Freedom Dive.
No FC of this.
We have 2 or 3 chances, depending if we did a bracket reset against JRH. And this being one of them for the chances if we didn't FC. I'm looking at Rob to potentially take, given just, you know, his plethora of FCs that he's done so far for today.
Absolutely. I mean... Rob, we've come in. Rob, we've seen come in, absolutely destroying songs, and really coming in with a lot of FCs. Is he gonna get the same sort of magic on this? I'm not sure, but both players still on the right track.
Now we're in the Elite League, by the way. The main goal is to not FC, but just win in general with points.
Yeah.
So the main priority has to be points.
Yeah, the whole thing is score.
We have our usual Samba, you know. We're gonna have the break right here as we're gonna go into our third descending dive. I think this is gonna come down to either this descending dive coming up or the piano solo.
So yeah, you know the piano solo is super chokeable. That yellow wall part that we always talk about, you know, easily missable. The piano solo is a tough one. And but so far we've seen both players doing quite well.
It'll either be this descending dive or the piano solo. If not, we might see a potential FC. But that's
Moose activates immediately when he gets that. Rob waited a little bit, and now there's a tiny bit of a Samba going on here.
That's right. I mean, given the activations during the descending dive, it really doesn't matter since what you're seeing here is basically like the same notes per second, it's just constant,
yeah, exactly.
the same.
It's not as strict. Ooh, but we do see Moose missing. Not on a star power phrase, but still costly. As we know, Rob is so FC heavy. Oh, and Rob missing again, right as I say it. And they are neck and neck again. Moose only leading by a few hundred points, it seems.
We won't. Keep in mind, he did miss just a little bit under star power, just at the very end. We will not see a Freedom Dive FC right now in this set. So we have to wait for Grands, but this is the piano solo. We'll see what happens. Here comes the yellow wall. Same path.
Oh, both players making it look easy, but Rob misses again.
And then Moose misses.
Oh my god, dude. This match is unbelievable. It's so close. When one misses, they both miss.
Rob with the first activation just to activate before the chords. We're gonna have one of our last descending dives here. Is Moose gonna have an edge over this? We've seen so many misses so far. Immediate activation from the two. Moose just got it out first. He did.
Man, this is just such a close match. I mean, Moose is only ahead by about 1,000 points. A miss from either one of them is gonna tell the match. But if they both hold on, Moose is gonna take it.
Here we have one of our activations in the last descending dive. Oh my goodness.
They're the same thing.
They're tapping their hearts out at the moment. I can't imagine. And I think Moose is gonna walk away with the narrow win against Rob. Oh my goodness. Man.
Just look at that margin. 1,000 points. 1,100 points to be exact.
Did this man squeeze on the last descending dive activation?
I don't know what he did, but whatever he did, he took that. Oh my god, 1,100 points.
Wow.
Such a close game. And I was 100% right. He just brought this game completely back. He was down 2-0. He's now 2-2.
That is Rob's first loss on Freedom Dive, and Moose has a tied record of 2-2 on Freedom Dive so far, as we're now going to go into our 5th game.
Unreal.
Per decided on Moose's part. So this is giving him a bit of advantage. That was a big win on Moose's part. Okay, this day has been crazy. And we still have Grands to go. We don't know how Grands are going to turn out. One of these two is going to get into Grands.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is literally gonna be, this is, it's the second biggest match that we're watching right now, leading up to the biggest match. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. You can't really get a dull moment in this game right now.
All right, we got Cosmic Conqueror. The second time it's been picked so far today.
Love to see it, man. Cosmic Conqueror, the next song coming up here. And now we're dead even. Let's go, man.
We're dead even, although this is Moose's pick. This should be projected for him to win on this game, but we'll see what happens. I think JRH picked this during their set, and Moose had walked away with it, which gave him the advantage to take it to a game 9, which you saw before if y'all had missed out on that. But this is Moose's pick now against Rob. $2 to $3K, 2.5, I think. I think that first activation gave Moose an advantage. Look at it.
Yeah, man. Moose is so good with that stuff. How does Moose do that, man? I don't understand. He's just like the squeeze king.
You know what? I'm bummed. I'm really bummed out. Because say that Moose had lost the first round against Rob, and he had went on the same streak, we would have seen him versus Fingerquick, which they had not played before, and I so would have wondered how these two would have just fared off against each other. Squeezing gods.
Yeah, right, man? I mean, like, Moose has actually squeezed like 2,000 points out of Rob here. It's like crazy, man.
Both with the same amount of star power, like dead on.
Moose, I thought missed star power there, but he did not. Moose with a miss. That's going to put him at a deficit.
Rob is playing the Randy game right now. He's playing the Randy game with this consistency that he has. He does know the pass, but at the same time, he's just so good at with his accuracy. Both with the same activation, getting the overlap. Rob maintain the FC. I know. We're now just about to near the end. They're gonna get the last activation out soon.
Yeah, I mean, if things don't change here, I think this is gonna go to Rob.
Yeah, something has to give here.
Super close, but I'm not sure.
Wow. There it is.
Another super close one, man. 1,000 points again.
That one miss. Dude, even that one miss, it was, look at the gap right now, it was just about 1,000, like 1,100.
Seriously, man. And that was actually just 100% overstrum from Moose there. So that would explain why the score deficit was so similar. But man, just unbelievable.
That is
Rob with another FC.
4.4K off of optimal for Rob. And
crazy.
Now he is at an advantage since he's up 3-2, and now it'll be his pick. Oh my goodness. Okay, now this will be Moose's counter pick had just happened with Cosmic Conqueror. It'll be Rob's now. I mean, Okay.
Yeah, so we just got word from broadcast. We just have literally a 2-minute little minor technical issue. So we're gonna go to a 2-minute intermission, and we'll be back to you guys in absolutely no time. Everybody stick around. We're gonna finish this Rob and Moose match and then get to the finals, guys.
We are
guys,
back.
welcome back. Sorry about that little delay, but we're getting right back into the game here.
Totally a technical issue. Totally a technical issue.
All right, so we got Rob here leading now, 3-2 over Moose, and I'm trying to see here if the next song has been picked. I don't think it has been. It will be Rob's pick, and what can we see him going for here, or what would we even like to see from him?
I'll tell you now. We don't have to guess. It's already happened.
Nope,
Fuzz
we don't
Universe
even have to
125.
Fuzz Universe 125. Let's go ahead and see it. The pick from Rob. Now, and listen, in this kind of spot, Moose is gonna need to turn things around a little bit because he can't just win his pick anymore. But, he'll need to win Rob's pick. So let's go ahead and see if he can pull it out.
I know Moose is familiar with this song, but given that it is Rob's pick, he's probably just a lot more comfortable compared to Moose. Now, I must say, I wonder how JRH is feeling right now, just seeing everything unfold. He has to get ready, though, eventually.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if he's watching the match right now, or I'm wondering if he's taking this time to just do some last-minute adjustments on his path, some last-minute practice, Don't know.
Now, the two times that we've seen the song get picked, it came down to the outro. We'll see if that comes true again. We have our superhero light song here.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuzz Universe.
And we got a pretty hard samba going on here as well. Both players seem to be dead even on points. Could be wrong, but so it looks like to me anyway. There really won't be any more after this, because now Moose comes in with a completely different activation from Rob.
Rob's activations are so weird, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, this is completely different now. These guys are taking completely different paths.
Like, my dude does have baller paths, but at the same time, it stands out from a bunch. And that activation, I don't think was in favor of Moose at all.
I don't think that was right. Oh, no! And Moose actually misses star power. That is not good news for Moose there. That could be a game-changing event.
And Rob is going to stay consistent. He's probably not going to miss a star power phrase. He could just miss a couple times, but given that he does have star power advantage, it'll be in his favor.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that was a really crucial miss there from Moose. That could really change the whole match.
It very well could. Rob maintaining his 1200 note streak. That might just be the X factor for the whole set. This might put Moose in a bad situation where he might not feel as good mentally and not feel as confident, considering that deficit he grew himself into. We'll see what happens. I want to look at the lead here. It's around 12.5 to 13k, it seems like. So it's not totally out of the question since they're now on their neutral and star power right now.
Yeah, easily. I mean, Rob would pretty much just need to do the same thing that Moose did. Need to miss a star power phrase, or just have, even a big miss under star power could probably do it in a no dense section.
That's just gonna come down. This is gonna be in Rob's hands, though. The fate of the match. I wonder how many FCs this man has gotten today. He's gonna stand out a lot between other players who have FC'd today.
For sure, man. I wouldn't doubt it if Rob has had the most FCs out of the tournament. In fact, I think that almost have to be a given.
Yeah, he had to play more matches, given that he was in losers, and we only had one winners match.
Yes. Sure, I think it would be no doubt that Rob probably has the most wins, or not the most wins, the most FCs under his belt.
Now, this very well is going to go down to the outro, but only in the hands of Rob, though. We'll see whether or not he's going to flub on this happy bit or not. Keep in mind, Moose does have a wee bit more star power as he activates a little bit earlier. And this might be a reverse choke also on Moose's end, since he only had missed once. He's up to a 1600 no shrink at the moment.
Wow, man, and Rob really just not letting up. I mean, Rob just absolutely destroying out here.
Now, what's this? Did Rob overlap? I wanted to pay attention to the stats at the moment, but Moose has a quarter, and Rob is down to Moose is at half, and Rob is down to a quarter.
That is interesting. But I don't think it's going to be enough for Moose to come back. We'll see, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Rob will have star power as he activates immediately after he gets it, but Moose is only going to have a little bit more star power to work with, though.
It's gonna make things a little closer.
Oh, I don't know about that overlap.
Wait, I don't know. Moose did overlap, but yeah, even with the overlap, he doesn't take back the score. And Rob there is sitting pretty with some star power that Moose does not have.
Yeah, there's no other phrases after this. This should be in favor of Rob. This will be 4-2. Set point.
Wow. Well, there Rob goes with another FC. Are you surprised? Me neither. Unbelievable performance from Rob here. Another FC. And now, like you said, the game is now 4-2 in Rob's favor. But this time, it's going to be Moose's pick here. And Moose has really got to pick something he knows he can FC. I'm trying to remember. Moose was actually in the same position last match against JRH, but he actually came back and forced a tiebreaker. So, I'm trying to remember what songs they played. I know Groundhog was one. I can easily see Moose picking Groundhog, wouldn't you say, Shmoo?
Perhaps we've only seen Groundhog once, and that was the match between Rob and Fingerquick, in which both of them had FC'd. So, I mean, we took more into account that Fingerquick had a nasty path, or a nasty score, and both of them had FC, but Rob did FC that, given that he is definitely capable of, taking game on Groundhog, say that Moose were to flub a little bit.
True, yeah. And laces out, and there we go. Like I just said, Groundhog is the pick from Moose there. Man.
So this will decide, potentially, if Rob were to take this game with the nasty consistency that he has to go into grands.
Yeah, man. I mean, Rob wins this, and that's it. He's in the grand finals with JRH. But, I mean, this is a crazy song to pretty much decide the fate here. We're going to see. If you guys are not familiar with this chart, we just saw it earlier. It is a chart of oddly forced and, I should say a lot of odd chords in here. I mean, it's just
chords.
Yeah, it's very rough, very easy to overstrum, and very easy to make a careless mistake here.
The first level again, Rob he activates a little bit later as Moose was just drained down to half star power. It's odd. I think he wants.
What's up with that?
He wants to get this overlap. Apparently, no, the overlap won't come out. I forgot.
Nah, yeah, I don't think that activation difference actually made much of it. No, it didn't make any difference at all. They're actually dead even right now. Wow.
Okay, so regardless of the fact that, I mean, the levels do repeat themselves. It's the same thing over and over again, but Rob just hauled down to full star power. Surely they're not tied at this moment. Something's gonna shift in someone's favor.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like a little bit of a bit of an opposite scenario to the first one, to the first level, where
so
Rob
cool.
activated later. Now Moose activated later. Ooh, Moose came through actually squeezing an extra 1,000 or so points out of Rob there. All right.
Let's call it feedback.
All right, make sure y'all get your crumbs in chat. Okay to crumbs. As this next level is about to come up now with the boys.
Wow.
You're gonna be whamming the hell out of these core sustains.
Oh yeah.
Crumbs.
Rob does have a little bit more crumbs, indeed.
Watch out.
He does, yeah. He's gonna make back a little bit of points there, but not too much.
This is no time to coach.
We're gonna be approaching levels 5 and 6. We'll see how that affects. Are we gonna see another double FC of Groundhog again?
That'd be unbelievable.
That'd be pretty. Something that I would not have predicted for today.
Cripes.
No, especially the fact that we could see 2 of them. Like, what's up with that?
I mean, I've seen Track and Fire double FC I think 2 to 3 times, but now Groundhog gonna be up there now. We'll see as we're approaching level 5 and level 6.
Yeah, we're getting to the hard parts now, the real hard parts.
Level 5 now. Now, Rob, I think, was earlier in that activation. As Moose is maintaining what he has right now, one miss will probably seal it for both. Unless they flub like crazy in level 6.
Sorry, am I putting you
They would
Yeah,
say
Moose actually squeezed a little bit of more points out of that one as well. Oh, and he misses! Oh my god, is that gonna be 8 now?
this is on his tournament
he's
life right
clearly
now.
Flustered. He's clearly flustered. Is that gonna be it?
Oh no, this will probably get
Oh
him out
my
of the tournament. He warned you.
No, dude.
at my match?
If Rob wins this one, that's it.
Oh,
no!
No!
That is so sad for not for sorry for Moose there.
For finger
So
quick.
sad for Moose. Oh my god. No, dude.
Oh no, that is okay.
Moose just let that one slip right through his fingers.
That is, by the way, 7K off ultimate for Rob. This man feels no emotions at all. He just FC'd right through that after that heartbreaking miss from Moose, as he's now to come in 3rd place with a strong showing in winners finals against
Crazy, yeah.
JRH.
Absolutely strong showing, but I'd have to imagine he is quite flustered over that miss. Wow. And it's just something as simple as that. That's it. That's it now.
This
We
man
know our
Rob,
finalists.
this man Rob does not miss at all.
Unbelievable, man.
I
That
bet
is
you
not the ending I expected.
when Rob had seen him miss, he was like, "Oh man, oh god!" he had to maintain himself a little just so he can clinch a victory and go into the grand finals.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, that's just not what I expected to happen. Oh my god. Rob ended up taking that one 5-2.
Oh, okay. So
Well,
now,
Let's take a look at this bracket. I mean, this is it. This is it, guys. We got JRH versus Rob in the grand final. You've waited so long, and now I believe we have Moose and Rob in here for the interview.
Indeed.
Guys, oh my god. First of all, I just have to ask, Moose, what's going through your head right now?
It's a little bittersweet. Bitter because I didn't get to the winners bracket. Sweet because I don't have to play 9 more matches against JRH.
Yeah,
Potentially twice.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it is what it is.
true. Yeah, I mean, it just really came down to at the end, of the end of Groundhog, where you missed, and you could see you were visibly flustered after that miss, and that's really just what did it.
Yeah, it was the overstrums that did me in. Right after the dude in the song said, "This is no time to," whatever the fuck he says. He says, "Don't mess up now," and then I messed up. You got
He
in my
jinxed
head.
it. He jinxed
got
it. It's the caster's curse, man.
Yep.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you can't be disappointed with your finish. 3rd place is extremely impressive for such a long tournament. Out of 24 players, are you happy with your finish?
I'm very happy. I far exceeded my expectations for this. I had no idea what to expect going to this. I didn't even know if I'd make it to the playoffs, and if I did, I thought I'd be first rounded. So anything past first round was a win in my book. So I'm happy with my performance.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone in chat, at Moose, give him a heart, give him an okay, just give him all the love, give him the strong performance and the entertainment he's brought to you so far in the Elite League.
Yeah, show some love for Moose here. He is now out of the tournament, but before I go to Rob here, Moose, I gotta ask you, are you gonna be back for the next season?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. We'd
awesome
love to
to
see it. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, that's good to hear, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's right.
Now, Rob, you, on the other hand, you got eliminated round 1 via Moose, and you had to come all your way from round 1, sweeping Chris, getting rid of Skoljo, getting rid of Hidden Quid, now sending Moose home, and now you're going to be in Grands. You've had a long losers run all the way into Grands. You had to lose once just to be out after your match against Moose in round 1, but now you're here in Grands, guaranteed second. How do you feel right now, and do you think you can still keep it up, given how many matches you've played so far?
Yeah, it's been very exhausting, to be honest with you. But how I feel amazing. Like, seriously, going into the, I would be like, if I put up a good performance against Skoljo, I'll be happy with that. Because I wouldn't say I didn't expect to win. I thought I didn't know how it would go. Because I put the practice in. But yeah, I got past, and then I just kept going. I really didn't think I would get past Moose.
Wow.
I had to say, I thought the final was going to be Moose versus GRH. So,
Wow.
Oh, here we go. It remains to be seen, really.
Now, one more thing. I don't know if people are able to count that high, but are you able to keep track of how many FCs you've had so far today? Because I sure as hell can't keep count. From your match against Skoljo up to here, how many FCs? How many FCs do you think you had?
How many do I think I have?
Yeah. We're for broadcast.
Is it 9?
Yeah. Rob doesn't even know. So we have 9 FCs from Rob just from today.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I thought it was 7 or 8, but 9, dude. Oh my
Bro,
God.
I can't.
And out of the whole tournament, the whole tournament, it's got to be in the 30s or something. That's crazy, man.
I can't even think about the FCs. If they happen, they happen. It's all about the score. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's still impressive. Just your consistency and your accuracy alone is just phenomenal. But Moose, good stuff for what you've done so far for the Elite League. I admire your play so much, and I hope to see you in the second season of Elite League. And Rob, best of luck for your grand final set against JRH. We'll be here to cast, and I hope everything goes according to plan.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much.
GGC, good stuff, and adios.
See you in season 2, folks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we like to hear.